Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. NQ Addict Scalping course. My name is Chris Drysdale. I'm an NQ addict. This is going to be module 7. We're going to be discussing volume delta. And this is particularly one of my favorite modules. I think this is a fantastic tool to help you read into the market and put everything we've seen thus far into context and give confidence and confirmation into actually taking the trade. All right. So if you could think about it this way, that trading balance and fading the extremes is the trade idea. We're getting to a level, and I know my overall bias and direction. I'm keeping market rhythm in mind, waiting for a good rotation to be able to take an entry. The last piece of the puzzle is going to be the order flow in the form of volume delta to show me that the momentum is in my favor, that we're going to get in with the direction of the order flow. So we use order flow tools like cumulative delta and a delta histogram to time our trade entries. After having an initial trade idea congruent with our balanced trading rules, like I had just discussed, we always want to take our scalps in the direction of the order flow. The trade is timed with order flow confirming the move. So this is the last piece of the puzzle, right? You can almost just trade this, all right? I think it would be a lot harder without the context of the balance trading and trade ideas based on those levels. But this alone is a very powerful momentum style of trading. So we'll start with the cumulative delta. The cumulative delta is a technical indicator that measures the difference between the volume of buying and selling in NQ. It can be used to identify the strength and direction of the immediate market trend, as well as potential reversals and divergences. Okay. TradingView has this indicator. It is far inferior than what I use on the Trade platform. So I'm going to show you both of them, and you can see for yourselves. But I don't use the TradingView one. It's just the data is not good. For what have you, I think you need parsed data, or it is parsed data. There's something wrong with the data on TradingView where you don't get an accurate cumulative delta for whatever reason. Ultimately, we wait for the abnormal buying or selling to enter NQ in our anticipated direction, and we take the trade. Okay, so this is our confirmation. Another piece of it is the delta histogram, and this is similar to cumulative delta, but the delta histogram differs because it breaks it down, the buying and selling, into just one single candle, whereas the cumulative delta maps out volume panning out over time, hence cumulatively. Okay, and I'll show you these right here. Okay, so this is price. This is price action on NQ. This is the cumulative delta, and this is the delta histogram. Okay, so this is buying and selling pressure. If there's a green candle, there's more buyers than sellers. If there's a red candle, there's more selling than buying. Okay, it's taking the difference. We had way more sellers than buyers. Simple to supply and demand, and this works fantastic on NQ. Okay. So for example, I don't want to buy into this red selling candle, right? We had this nice move up. I'm waiting for a continuation, right? So this is a 5-minute candle, 5-minute candle. We had a lot of buying, increasing buying. Okay, and this red candle, okay, it turns gray when it's a muted buying. It's less buying than usual, all right? When you see a green or red that's abnormally large, we're getting an influx, more buying than previously, or selling, okay? And this is straight up just in each candle how much buying and selling or selling delta took place, all right? So I'm seeing we had this little curling and sell-off. The selling slowed down, and we even had a little buying. Okay, we might get a reversal, all right? This would be a good time to long. We're getting a green candle, abnormal buying coming into the market, and we get this huge move on this 5-minute candle. This is like 40 points, okay? Green buying stepping in, everything's in our direction, okay? Now this red candle, okay, is just muted selling. And in fact, there was more buying than selling. So there were some passive sellers here hitting into the offer. So passive sellers. All this buying right here was being sold into by limit orders on the offer. However, they got overrun, and the sellers were able to take over, and we got this huge big red candle, right? Look at all this selling. Buyers returned. However, not confirmed yet because it's, low amount of buying. But on the next candle, we got confirmation. More buying is entering the market. We could take this scalp. This is about a 20-point candle. Easily get 5 or 10 points out of this setup. Okay, and these patterns repeat. I can't go through every pattern, but just knowing the basics is that gray on the cumulative delta is muted response, right? But it'll still give you direction, okay, because it's cumulative. So even though we're starting to sell off here and we're moving down, it's weak selling, strong selling, weak buying, strong selling, weak buying, weak selling, strong selling. Buyers stepping in, not enough though. Weak buying, now it's starting to pick up. Okay? So it tells you a story of the market, the order flow. Allows me to get in with conviction because I'm joining the immediate order flow direction. Okay, here's just some other examples. Strong buying, right? Starts to top off. Weak selling, strong selling, weak buying, big sellers. Okay? The sellers, weak selling, buyers stepping back in. These are candles we want to buy into to scalp our 5 to 10 points. Okay? Another example, here's a good reversal. When do I want to buy, right? When do I want to get involved in this reversal, right? If there were a line right here, say this line was I got in early, right? It's still selling off, muted selling, and then they dump it. Look at all these sellers, tons of sellers, probably tons of people being stopped out. And by the way, this is Globex session, so this is at 11 o'clock at night. You can get really good reads in Globex because the order flow is so clear, right? I get a red candle, but not time to buy yet. Still got sellers. Still slowing down. It's going sideways. Got a little bit of buyers, but now you can have some conviction. Big sellers coming into the market. Green, and then we can quickly see the turn in the rotation. Gray, red, selling increasing. And we get the next rotation up, where significantly more buyers come into the market. Okay? So this is something to study and watch and get an idea of the rotations and how buyers and sellers are moving price. Price doesn't always move exactly congruent with this, but this will tell you the story of what's happening behind the candle, the actual order flow, the buyers and sellers, and what's taking place. If you don't understand what's happening at this level with volume and order flow, you're really just guessing. So I can go into some live examples here. Okay. This is you can get this on Tradeovate with a demo account. It's like $12 a month or something like that. And you just have to pay like $4 for market data. So you're all in to use Tradeovate with an account for like $15, or you could actually trade on Tradeovate. You get a lot of powerful information here, right? So I love this, right? So this is, if you're trying to catch a bounce here, you never got confirmation. If you're trying to go long, right, you're looking for the reversal, you never got confirmation on the cumulative delta, right? Look at all this selling. Weak buying, weak buying. We didn't get a chance to buy until really, this even would have been a bad buy. We never got confirmation on the cumulative. We did have some buyer step in here, but no real longs. These were shorts. You should have been looking short, right? Prices going up, but all these still sellers. That should have been a conviction to tell you that we're going lower. This is, weak buying. We start having buyers step in here, and you can clearly see the turn. Weak buying. The buying even though we're going up in price, the buying is slowing down. So we can anticipate a reversal here. With this candle being confirmation, you would have got a nice entry here. And it goes on and on like that. In terms of the trading view, it does have it, but it's inferior. Volume delta. Okay. So you do have it. You don't get the gray candles or the muted buying, but you can see a little bit what's going on here. But this isn't going to look exactly like what you see on Tradeovate. This data is different, and it's going to be harder to read. Can you use it? Yes. Is it ideal? No. So please use with discretion. And with that, that is order flow. All right, cumulative delta, confirming, understanding the flow of buyers and sellers, and being patient and waiting for that last level of confirmation to get in long with the buyers in our favor. So in our scalp, we're immediately moving in our direction, right? As a scalper, I need this to move in my direction immediately, right? Because otherwise I have to get out for a small loss if it runs against me. Right? So I'll give myself a little room to scale in so I could be a little wrong, get to my position, but ultimately it needs to start moving in my direction sooner than later. Okay? And order flow is the last piece of the puzzle to help you do that. So up next is going to be our last module. We're going to put it all together. We're going to talk about execution, the details on sizing, and things of that nature. It's going to be a great module. Hopefully it's going to get you into that account and start trading the strategy, and hopefully fill in the last blank spots for you, and we'll take it from there. So I will see you guys.